The Cranky Geek WebRTC Spring 2021 show is possible thanks to our sponsors: Google, Agora, Element, Dolby.io, Twilio, and RingCentral. See the links in the description for more information.
Hi, everyone. With me now is Arnaud Budkiewicz. He is the Senior Director of Video Engineering at RingCentral. For those who don't know him, he's been with WebRTC from the start. He's a true WebRTC pioneer. I guess that I've seen him in every meeting and event that I've been throughout the years. I remember the first product you've built, Bistry, and I know you've built from that 5 different separate products that are WebRTC based. So Arnaud, the floor is yours to guide us through screen sharing.
Thank you, Tsai. Thank you for the warm intro. 3 years ago, I joined RingCentral, a Gartner leader of the Unified Communication as a Service business, with the offering message, video, phone, MVP as we call it. Let me ask you a very simple question. Does everyone can see my screen right now? I'll take this as a But I have bad news for you, which is, screen sharing is broken. If you look into the details, the flow of the experience for an end user, especially if it's for the first time, the picker UX where you select what you want to share is clunky. Sometimes you can share audio, sometimes you cannot. As a user, I have no idea what's happening. The notification bar is in the way, share on both sides of the screen. And also, you have the infamous Hall of Mirror if you don't pay attention to it. So how to make screen sharing great again? First, as an application developer, enhance your desktop experience. That's something you control 100%, and you can modify as much as you want. Then work hard on the performance, because screen sharing is hard to do at high resolution and high frame rate. And so you will need to iterate for a very long time. And then once you have fixed all the major problems and you have your great this desktop experience that you have as vision, then contribute back. WebRTC, WebRTC, Chromium, Firefox, WebKit. Go back to the community, discuss these problems that you solved, and help the community to have better products for the end user. So I'm going to start and go into the details with the confidence, right, that you need to bring upfront before the user will start sharing. So picker, that's the little window where the end user will select what he wants to share. And the problem that we have here right away is, okay, I have these different screens that I can select and I can recognize thanks to the thumbnail that are shown here. But what if I want to share just an application or just a tab? Well, I have no idea as an end user. Of course, we all use these different products, WebRTC based, for years. So we know that these are tabs. You click on it, but the first time user has no idea. And then he wants to click share on the bottom right of the screen. And actually, there is nothing, that is selected by default. So there is 2 extra clicks before to start and be successful with your screen sharing. You need to select first what you want to share. You need to select explicitly share. And if you hit enter, guess what? It's gone.
Yep.
Some people like to do this.
Happens to me all the time.
It's very annoying, and to be honest, it's very simple to solve. Right, it has been solved by many products that are native based, and this is the desktop experience that we built with RingCentral. So screens and application are in one single screen. There is no tabs. There is no extra click required. The screen number 1 is selected by default. And so if you click share, there is only one button at the bottom, right? You share right away. If you hit enter, it works, right? So not a complex problem to solve here. This is just UX.
So this is not something that you've done in the browser, right? This is something that you've done in the native application?
Correct. So we support both. We have the web client and we have the desktop client for Windows and Mac. And this is the desktop experience where we have full control.
Okay.
So confidence before you share, confidence while you share. So question is what I'm really sharing today. In the browser, you have the non-customizable notification bar. It's in the way of presentation material. You can move it around if you know that it's possible. You can hide it, clicking on the little, button that doesn't exist on the right. If you do this, there is no way to get it back. So this is, I think, an okay experience for the browser, but it has been changed for like 5 years, and I think we should rethink that. The Hall of Mirror, obviously, as an application developer, you want to make sure that the end user understands what he's sharing. If this particular window where you show to the end user what he's sharing is too large, you have this Hall of Mirror effect, which is very, very confusing for the end users. Okay, so what are you really sharing? On desktop, where we have full control again, what we've done is, you share your entire screen or you share an application, same thing. You have a green halo around what you share, and you have a little notch at the top that you can see here that is always visible and that is removed from what you share. So green halo and the notch are removed, and it's very easy to find this red button to stop sharing. Again, nothing fancy here, but it works. Multiple products over the time have been, going for this approach, so it's well known. But I really wish we would have that in the browser as well. Hall of Mirror, it's a very tricky problem to solve. We've been through a number of iterations, and in the end, we decided to remove the application that actually shares the control and shares the video that you are currently sharing on the screen. So this particular window is removed. If you remove something and the end user has no idea what is behind, that's potentially a problem. So that's why we also reduce the form factor of this window to the minimal. So you don't want to share what is behind. Here it's mitigated. Okay, now I'm sharing. I want to have control over what I'm sharing. What is the viewer experience? So you can try it by yourself, having in one screen both what you're sharing, the participants, and control your experience at the same time. It's very difficult. You need to use tab sharing, start slides, present to view, exit full screen mode, adjust windows. I mean, it's just nuts what you need to do. And there is no annotation on the full screen. So with the desktop experience that is significantly improved, you have full control. This window that I just talked about is it's customizable. You can make it bigger, so you can see the three main participants, and you can, if you click on the notch on this little crayon icon, you can start annotate, and everyone will be able to annotate on your screen. So for collaboration, it's very critical, right? Here, you control your experience, you control what you're sharing, and people can collaborate and be on the same page, annotating on the same content. Let's talk about the implementation here. I'm sure everyone is curious about how we managed to build that. So first, we started with a vanilla Electron, meaning no touching of Electron whatsoever. Chromium for Electron, for the one who don't know, that's Chromium plus Node.js, the capability to create an application that you can install as an end user on your computer, Mac or PC, and then have the benefit of native apps. You can have C++ code that are running and have access to the system and can do anything that the system can offer. What you see here is the complex architecture within. You have Node.js, you have the capture as a native module here, and then you have the frames flying around from this capture to the web app in a canvas, and then you have a copy here, and then you send that to WebRTC, and it's not very efficient. So the pros are no Electron, no WebRTC, no Chromium patches, which is okay, that's easy. It's easy to upgrade, so that's great. Cons are, a lot of unneeded code. You need JS wrappers, callbacks, timers. The logic is scattered between different pieces that are in different technologies, C++ and JS. It's very complex to maintain and to make it working at an interesting level of performance. Modify Electron. That's the next step. When you understand all the different pieces, what you need to do, and the performance is right, then you go one level deeper, and you're not afraid of having your capture as a C++ model within WebRTC, right? Within Chromium, within Electron. So you fork the entire onion, as I call it, but the performance are very interesting. I'm going to show that in a minute. Pros, so it's a full native implementation. It's executed in the main process, so there is no JavaScript engine involved here. There is no throttling of any JavaScript process. You can expect a very much better image quality. And if there is any cutting-edge contribution from the community that you want to leverage, that's totally easy for you to integrate. Cons, well, maintenance, the WebRTC patches, and custom Electron builds. But for an organization for us, like us, it's not a problem. So let's talk about performance.
Wait, before that, so you took libWebRTC in that case, you customize that, so you need to compile WebRTC, you need to compile the browser on top, Chromium, and you need to also compile Electron in a way.
Yeah.
So all of these pieces you now maintain on your own.
That's correct. But if you go into the details of the build process, you can potentially build any version of Electron with any version of Node.js or Chromium. So you don't have to, have a super complex build mechanism at the Electron level. It's kind of okay to pick and choose the versions that you want.
Okay.
Performance. So it's my point number 2. You need to iterate a lot. That's the reason why we started with the vanilla Electron, and then we customize the entire architecture. So on Windows, this is what you can expect to get. So different performance for screen and window. So the content is important. The resolution is important. The work that will need to happen behind the scenes is critical. Again, remember that frame by frame, we remove this little window of the application, and we share the rest, what is behind the scenes. So we compose the view that we want to share, and we do this frame by frame. So with the native capture in vanilla Electron, we are, pretty high, beyond 50 watts of power. If you look at Chrome, which is the target, I would say, because you don't modify anything, that's twice of that. So that the price is very high. With the custom Electron, we are very close to Chrome. So that's exactly where we want to be, right? People wouldn't understand that your performance on browser and your performance on desktop are very much, different. They want the same. On Mac, even a more drastic difference. But yeah, the native capture on vanilla Electron is pretty much at the same level of Chrome. This test has been done on M87. The stable now is 90, but this part hasn't changed much. So I would expect exactly the same performance. So what's next? Browser-based, our browser-based client. available to anyone in starting from M90. You have AV1, the new codec that we've been waiting for such a long time. It's very efficient for screen sharing in particular. There is a footprint that we'll need to carefully measure and tune, but we believe it's the future. I saw a lot of requirements from the community, from the end user, to share a portion of the screen. So it's already in discussion at the W3C, where RingCentral is member and I'm the AC rep, the representative. So I think it's an interesting problem to solve. Again, share a portion of the screen. It's providing more and more control to the end user and bring confidence and security. So I'd love that. Speaking of RingCentral, this has been announced yesterday. We are very proud of this overlay mode where you can have in one video stream yourself in video and the content that you're sharing. So it's called a weather person visual effect. It helps the presenter to hold audience attention, and also the audience will keep an eye on the presenter and on the material that is presented at the same time. So really excited about that and very proud of the different teams who work on this implementation. That works actually on web and desktop. So we are using cutting edge technology here, and on web and desktop, we deliver exactly the same user experience.
Thanks, Arnaud.
Cranky Geek is possible thanks to Google, as well as industry sponsors. RingCentral. Revolutionize your business communications with RingCentral APIs. Agora. Embed vivid voice and video in any application, on any device, anywhere. Element. Talk to everyone through the open global matrix network, protected by proper end-to-end encryption. Twilio. Create real-time video apps that scale as you grow, from free one-to-one chats to larger group rooms. Dolby. The API platform for transforming media and communications.